Bency had to drop out of college because his grades were too low and he lost a huge scholarship. It seemed like his life was ruined, but today he's shopping for doctoral programs because he went and got his bachelor's, hacked a bunch of teaching certifications, and then finished a WGU master's degree in under 6 months. His story is definitely going to inspire you, and I'm going to go ahead and let him tell it.
Both my parents were born and raised in Haiti. They got married and moved to America. And so I'm the first generation actually raised here in America.
At what point did you realize, hey, I want to go get a college degree?
So I think that's kind of the culture. If you're able to, higher education was kind of assumed to a certain. I was born in Brooklyn. And when we moved from Brooklyn to Long Island, my dad kind of pulled me to the side. I was 6 years old. And he said, "You see this house? This house is your college money. So make sure you get a scholarship because there's no college fund for you." And so at six, I didn't understand the implications of that, but I always understood, well, okay, it means I'm going to college, but it also means that there's scholarship has got to find other ways to fund it. So that was kind of the understanding.
Okay. And when did you start your first college class?
In high school, I was always an
Okay.
honors student, AP student, and that's when you're first introduced to AP or advanced placement exams. So actually, I was able to start college when I went to Hofstra University. I started with 27 credits from AP exam.
Okay, so walk me through the process then from starting to go to college with your 27 credits of AP to graduating. What did that process look like?
So I did get the scholarship as was expected. I had an academic scholarship. I was on a pre-law track at Hofstra University, so I was going to get a Juris Doctor within, I believe, 5 or 6 years. I get a three-quarter scholarship, so most of my school was paid for. But that freshman year of college, man, the standards are set. You have to have a 3.0 GPA. I didn't fail any classes, but I definitely didn't meet the standard that I needed for my scholarship. So after my
Yeah.
first year at Hofstra University, I actually ended up losing my scholarship. They did offer me a probationary year to kind of get
Hmm.
myself over the hump. But my father said, "We're not taking out a loan. We're not spending that money. You're transferring to a different school." So I left Hofstra University and I went to a CUNY school. Those are the called City University of New York schools. But what was amazing about my experience is even though I had to transfer schools, because I had all these credits from the AP exams, once I got to York College, I was actually still able to graduate within 4 years. I got my bachelor's in English and I even was able to do a minor in theater, which we know is not necessarily the standard. A lot of people aren't able to do it within that 4 year period.
And so now you're a teacher, right? And was that basically the career plan?
No, that was never the career plan. So that's the beautiful part of the story is I graduated college, but it's like, okay, so now what do I do with my life? I was prepared to be like the starving artist to a certain extent, but in my family, like that's not an option. It's like we came to this country so you can make a way. So you need to have a plan, at least be able to take care of yourself. I started as a teacher's assistant and I just loved the experience being around the kids, being able to connect with them in different ways. There was one day when one of the teachers pulled me to the side and she said, "Bency, what are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "You need to become a teacher. Like you are a teacher. You're already doing all the things. You're doing more than some of the teachers here are doing." It was really hands-on testing it out. And I had such a great experience that for me, it was like, okay, I can do this. So the problem for me is I never took any education courses while I was in college because that wasn't my plan. So now
Yeah.
they have an option called the individual evaluation where you can submit classes saying, okay, I've met this requirement, I've met that requirement. So for me, my father and I, we did a checklist of, okay, these are all the credits that I need. And I said, all right, let me go just take them one at a time. Let me find them the cheapest options possible. Some of the requirements I found out about CLEP exams that can meet those requirements. So I was taking some of those. I found out about the SST. So I was able to study for those real quick, take those. What happened with me is that they started to
Hmm.
change the New York State requirements. They started to up the ante of what you needed to do. So I got caught in that loop. So I was like this close to getting my English certification, and they moved the bar further away. So that
Yeah.
was disheartening. But I said, okay, is there a way I could pivot? Is there anything else I could do? Because I had the theater minor. I speak multiple different languages. Is there anything I could do here? Somebody suggested I take a look at the ENL program. English is a new language. So for that, really all I needed was to take 12 language credits. So I'm already fluent in French. So I took I took the French CLEP. I got 9 credits out of that. I got 6 credits of Spanish, and that got me over the hump, and I was able to become certified in ENL. From that, I was like, wait a minute, I have 2 certifications. How many more can I get? So now I have 5, and it's really like taking these CLEP exams and finding what they call self-paced courses.
That is really awesome, man. And it's so great that like you kind of had this adversity where you had these extra restrictions, but you
Hmm.
flourished in spite of it and actually now are able to teach more things than if you had
Yeah.
just been immediately let in. So your career is even stronger. It's really
So
cool.
this is something that I really want to let other teachers know as well. You dream about, I want to teach this one subject, right? But some subjects, just the reality of the market, they're not in as high demand. And English was my heart, but the irony is I didn't get to teach English. I'm teaching social studies. That's my primary focus. So it's being flexible and it's being able to do more, making yourself more marketable.
Well, I know that somewhere in this process of pulling all these credits together from so many different places, you discovered WGU. What role
Yes.
does WGU play in your career path?
Game changer. So one thing, once I get hired, right, they show me a pay scale, which I had never seen before. Based on your years of experience, this is what your salary is going to be, but also based on your level of education. So this is how you get to this level. It's right there in front of me. But also getting a master's is a requirement for New York State teachers. So I'm like, all right, I have to get the master's. I don't want to take out loans to do this. But really, my problem was the time. Because I was already working in E&L for so long, I knew that world. I had a lot of experience in it. And I was like, why can't somebody just let me prove that I know this stuff already? And then I came across WGU. I had taken some classes at the University of Phoenix, and I know, like, okay, online classes, they have maybe some of them have some reputation. When I came across WGU and I'm reading into it, and it says self paced, however many you can get within the term that you pay for, that 6 month term. And then I checked the price and I said, no, no, this cannot be real. So I wanted to make sure not only would it be accepted and accredited, but would it be accepted by New York State? So
Mm.
once I did all that math, I calculated it. I said, okay, I'm making this leap. And I was able to do it. So within 6 months, I got my master's at WGU. And, it's life changing. Getting to experience that was such a moment. I'm trying to like scream it from the hilltops, let everybody know like this stuff is real.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for a lot of people. You do have to be disciplined, but it's an opportunity there.
That is incredible. I'm so happy for you. Do you remember during that 6 months at WGU about how many hours a week you were putting in to knock that out?
For me, it was between 10 to 15 hours a week, but it's more about consistency. For me, like, okay, the first couple of classes, I did them so quickly. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm ahead of schedule. And you might take a day off, then you take a week off. You know what I mean? And so you can get comfortable. But for me,
Mm.
it's like, no, no, no. My goals within this window because I have this budget. I don't want to take money away from my family because this is what we budgeted. So that helped me be more disciplined and make sure I reached it within that 6 month time frame. Even if I have to adjust my pacing, you plan and you be disciplined, but it's not going to take away all your time from your family.
It's awesome. Final question for you. Do you have any words of wisdom or pieces of advice for anybody who may be out there watching, especially maybe people who want to go into teaching?
Absolutely. Understand that it is a business. So you do have to look into the market. What is the demand? That doesn't mean that you can't follow your passion, but understand that it is, career path. So you have to be honest about that. But also go into it for the right reasons. I walk into work every day with a smile because I love what I do. I know why I do it, and I have a plan for where I want to go and what I want to do, what I want to accomplish every day and over time. So that makes it easier. So if you have the right reasons, there's ways, and especially for teachers, there's so many different ways to hack it. And there's a lot of career changers who come into teaching. They might think, oh, I'm too old, or my expertise is completely different. There's ways out there. And there's programs like WGU, if you're interested, that can really streamline that process. So we need teachers, and we need teachers who care about what they're doing. And in places like New York, there's more money in teaching than you would think. There's opportunity. but come for the right reasons.
Bency's really good evidence that college hackers come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. You know, he went and hacked certifications for teaching, and he finished a master's degree at WGU super, super fast. And some people want to hack an entire bachelor's degree. Some people want to hack part of their PhD, like I did. There's a lot out there that you can do with this idea of college hacking. Whatever your goals are, wherever you're starting, we'd love to help you follow in Bency's footsteps. So if you want to graduate college quickly and inexpensively so you can build a career that you love, and we're talking like for under $9,000, under $6,000 in a lot of cases, and for most people in under 12 months, we'd love to help you. You can sign up for a consultation with us at the link in the description, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Happy hacking.